If you're using EveryDollar, you know how frustrating it can be when your bank doesn't match what your budget says. Today, I'm going to show you how you can reconcile your bank to your budget. Hey everyone, Craig here. I'm a profit coach who loves helping small businesses and individuals break the check-to-check cycle so they can finally find some peace of mind when it comes to their money. Now, in a past video I made a few years ago, I talked about what to do when your budget doesn't match your bank account. And in that video, I basically said, don't worry about it, okay? EveryDollar is not designed to be a bank register. It's not designed to be a perfect accounting system. It really is taking pen and paper and putting it to an app. That said, I know some of you took that as a sigh of relief of, okay, I don't need to stress about this. And some of you who are more numbers oriented weren't huge fans of that advice. So I wanted to go ahead and show you, if you are somebody who wants to try and reconcile your bank to your budget, here is the best way to do so. Now, here's the caveat. Again, this software is not designed to be fully reconciled. There are more robust softwares out there. So if this is incredibly important to you, I would suggest looking at YNAB or You Need a Budget. Find a software or an Excel sheet that would be a little bit more accurate so that you can fully reconcile. That said, let's dig in and let's jump onto my budget here. And we're going to take a look at my sample EveryDollar budget. And I also have a sample bank statement that I'm going to go through. So what you're going to want to do is you're just going to either want to log into your bank and download a statement or just go through your transactions. This is something you'll do at the end of the month. It is tedious. It is very tedious. So if you're noticing that your numbers don't fully line up, then we're going to want to walk through and make sure that every transaction that came through got logged into EveryDollar. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to, in EveryDollar, just click on transactions and you're going to see a list of transactions. All of these are already logged. You can see under them, I've already dragged and dropped them to wherever they go. Now, if I come back to my bank statement, you're going to see a list of transactions. Now, these are going to say July and I'm working in March. We can overlook that. This is just an example. And I'm going to go transaction by transaction, trying to track everything that I have spent. Now, some of these are going to be bank transfers. And so, like this first one, it's going to show 372, a bank transfer. And it looks like it was taken out of my main checking account. Well, as I roll through my transactions, I'm realizing that one didn't get logged. So for whatever reason, that one didn't get logged. So that could be already a red flag saying this could be why my budget's not matching my bank account. So I'm going to quickly just log it. What was it? 372. You'll know better of where it's coming from. So let me just track it there. I'm going to drag it. Let's just say that we took it and we transferred it to somebody else. Let's just say it was a bank for simplicity's sake. I'm just going to drop it like on a car payment. We just transferred it to a car payment or something like that. All right, now we're going to come back through. We're going to come over here to the tracked. Next one is this credit from McKay. So somebody paid you. We don't see that one here either. So I'm going to want to add that one. So 43.80. I'm going to have to manually type it in. So for whatever reason, these did not just get brought in. So if you're using EveryDollar Plus, that means they didn't get brought in. I'm going to add it to, actually, I'm not going to add it to there. I'm going to add it to, what do we have at 43.80? We're going to do McKay. Okay, we're just going to hit add expense so I can drag it because I don't have an income line. Maybe it was a reimbursement. So I'm going to create that line up here. I'm going to come back. I'm going to drag it in there. And there we go. Although I did make one mistake because it needs to be a credit. So we're going to make sure it's income. When you're adding these, you'll see up here at the top, expense and income. If it was in the debit column, then that's an expense. If it was in the credit column, that's an income. So here we go. Now I'm going to continue to roll through. Let me go back to my tracked transactions. Next we have Colonial Mutual. And so I'm going to kind of roll through here. Now you can look here and you can see I have the same date next to most of these. That's because prepping for this video, I just dumped a bunch of the transactions that were on here into the account. You're actually going to see on your statements the date, and pretty close to it is where it's going to show up in here. So that's going to make it a little bit easier. It should be in order and you should be able to find them. But if not, you're just going to scroll around. So this one is Colonial Mutual. It's $25. Here it is right here. So boom, that one is done. This is where I'm not a huge fan of doing this in EveryDollar. There's not really a way to mark it off. There's not really a way to check and say, boom, we've got this one. You could try and print the transaction list if you can find a way to do that. But this is where it gets messy because the truth is if you're using credit cards, if you're using multiple bank accounts, then you're going to go through this statement. Then you're going to have to open up another statement. And it's going to be really hard to keep track of which ones have you logged or which ones have you referenced, which ones have you not. So just a heads up that that's where this may become more overwhelming overwhelming than what it's worth. So we're going to come here to Colonial Mutual. If you're using just one credit card or just one bank account, then it should be pretty straightforward. The next one on here, we're going to always reference the statement first, and then we're going to go to the budgeting software. So we're going to go to loan repayment 280. I'm going to come up here. There it is, loan payment. Pet stock $32.99. I'm going to go look through. There's pet stock $32.99. Woolworths Ringwood $134.26. There we go. It's right there. Heathmont $30. I'm going to look for it. Oh, there it is. Okay, up top. Another Heathmont, post Heathmont, $47.57. There we go. 5-Star Music, $50 down here. And last but not least, post Heathmont, $55.65. Okay, so perfect. Everything on this statement is now logged. So that's good. The only thing I don't have data on, again, is if there's any extra transactions in here. I can maybe try and come through here, or maybe I could go backwards and reference, look here to make sure it's on this statement, because maybe there's a chance something got logged in that wasn't recorded as this payment. That's less likely that something is going to be logged that wasn't on your statement. It's more likely that something on your statement is not going to be in your bank. Okay. Once we've done that, you should be balanced out. So you should be completely balanced out to where your bank matches your budget. If it doesn't, then that means, number one, somewhere you started at the wrong balance. Maybe you were starting somewhere different, or something just got mixed up or muddied. Maybe you logged something as a credit instead of a debit, or vice versa. There's a lot of different things that could come into play here. But this is, I mean, truthfully, if we were reconciling accounts for a business and doing their books, this is pretty much the process you go through. You look at their QuickBooks and you compare it to their bank statement, and you make sure that everything adds up, that everything that came through the bank statement is also in QuickBooks. All right. Once again, if this isn't working for you, the two options I would most recommend are, number one, just don't stress about it. Do what you can and just continue on as best as you can. This budgeting really is just more managing your cash, making sure that you're tracking and you're doing well. It's not an accounting software. So just bear that in mind. If you need something more robust that can do more accounting, I suggest looking into other softwares to see what else is out there that might be more in line with what your bank is doing. All right, let me know if you have any questions. And as you're going through this journey, we know that it can be overwhelming. We know that a lot of times you can start budgeting and quit, just to start again, just to quit again. If you've been through that cycle, if this is something that you've been trying to get to stick and it just hasn't been working, we encourage you to reach out to us and schedule a call with one of our coaches. These are free calls and designed to help you on your personal finance journey. If you're looking for support specifically in EveryDollar, we have a completely free Facebook group. So I would go in there, post your questions. It's really a supportive group. People are quick to answer and help get you guidance. But if your needs are deeper than just a budgeting software, in the description below is a link to meet with one of our coaches. Schedule that call and we'll get you on the right path to turning your money story around. All right, guys, thanks for joining me, and we will see you in the next video.